fighting against Hammer and Orb on Demon Island for game number 1.
And yeah, it's on Demon Island. You said the short walls don't benefit anyone, but I think they're going to do great for STTP Wilson. He is kind of the king of the corner guard. He oftentimes does the guitars. They have this fire-breathing signature where he just does a spit fire downwards that can hang over the edge a little bit. I'm expecting to see a lot of that.
Yeah, Wilson is particularly good with the down signature, just being able to burn the floor, burn the side of the stage. Not to mention, the axe side stick has a little bit of those properties as well, being able to dip down and use it on the edge. And that will cover a lot of Demon Islands. But Stimpy so far started off strong with the hammer, just hitting him with Sarah's left and right, sending the axe flying straight out of his hands. But Wilson gets a really nicely timed neutral light on the side of the stage, but that's the stock. Oh, Wilson dodging just to be able to hold on to momentum and uses the recovery at the very bottom of the stage, using the edge to travel back up. And he starts getting some damage onto Stimpy. He's still living. Bouncing off the stage, just barely surviving. And that's twice that he's gotten that recovery on Demon Island. And you know what? I think you're right. I think these walls actually are just great for Wilson because those recoveries are coming out really cleverly.
Oh, just enough that time to take out the first stock from Wilson. But yeah, that's the thing. And usually you see a lot of players, with those shorter walls, it's pretty easy to peek your head a little higher than you're expecting. And Stimpy was looking to cover that area. But Wilson, he does those guitar recoveries very low. He's aiming for that very bottom corner of the wall.
Ooh, nice patience from Stimpy, knowing that Wilson was trying to go for the side air finish. Went all the way to the left side of the stage, got the stop punish, and now with the falling side air, side stick doesn't hit. Gets shared for his trouble, but enough extra credit to feel comfortable. Wilson, not too damaged, and he lived an incredibly long time on that last stock. So let's see him be able to get these guitar strings in, maybe get some damage on the Stimpy, even up these stocks. You have to remember that the Undertaker is quite a tanky legend, and those stop side airs, well, there's no surviving 2 of those in a row.
Yeah, and that one was even so far over on the stage. Like, he didn't have too much distance to go to score the knockout. So now Stimpy has just about a full stock lead. Wilson's got to change something.
Wilson finds the neutral line. He's getting the down airs through, and he's starting to get the damage on the Stimpy. But I've noticed that Stimpy has done a very great job of catching all of Wilson's landings, whether they be side airs or down airs, and punishing with a hammered stop or a side light. That time he doesn't do it. Let's see if Wilson can continue to get the reads. Neutral stick gets the landing as he tries to land right on top of Wilson. And Wilson looking for the neutral light, doesn't hit it. Side stick doesn't hit either. Stimpy really baiting out that he's going to go for that weapon. Stimpy's getting Wilson right in the same amount of damage that he had him on the last stock. That neutral stick
again. Yeah, that anti-air, it just covers this beautiful umbrella overhead. And Wilson's caught Stimpy with it twice now.
Wilson gets the recovery, and that is the best knockback that you could be asking for there. Just barely doesn't knock out.
Oh, no!
That's like, you got Demon Island in the World Championship. Just barely didn't touch the stage, and there's the walls working out for Wilson, just like you said. Not quite in the way that I was expecting, but you know what? It's evened up the stocks 1-1.
Yeah, that's the thing. Stimpy, he went for that straight horizontal dodge. Now he's going for the edge guard. Wilson sneaking right by.
Wilson gets through. I was expecting to go for a neutral stick almost there. He has to, at this point, basically play for the highlight reel up the right side of the stage, hope that he can get Stimpy off the side of the stage, go for the edge guards. Just sucks that because Thor is pretty infamous for having one of the best signature recoveries in the game. Gravity cancel neutral stick for a lot of distance, and that sider will take it. Barely any damage onto that last stock. Nearly 600 damage done for Stimpy in game number 1.
And so Wilson, he was able to bring it down to the final stock, but it was kind of Stimpy just having this continuous march towards victory. So Wilson, I don't think it was really a stage problem there. The stage definitely helped Wilson out more than hurt him.
Yeah.
But he's got to change something in the gameplay. It was a lot of Stimpy catching those falling side airs, neutral airs, just playing footsies with them and getting maximum punish with the stomp into side air.
I totally agree, and I believe Wilson agrees as well, is because when he banned up the maps, Demon Island was left open, and that's right where Stimpy went back to. He's going to change up that playstyle rather than the terrain he is playing on, and Stimpy seems to be doing that as well, as that was the first downswing that we've seen all tournament. And
oh my gosh.
Stimpy is just it's just barreling through Wilson's
max
first stock.
Damage. I mean, he's not even just going for like, oh, I can get the neutral light for the real quick punish. No, he will land that stomp every single time. And it's pretty low to the ground, so you've got to catch those landings. And Wilson doesn't even get the chance to land. Stimpy covering the sky with the neutral air, scoring the first knockout.
Yeah, that was non-stop slugfest coming out from Stimpy with the hammer. Wilson responding in kind with some down airs from the axe, but they're not converting into the sidelights that he wants. That's the first time he got a sidelight nair this game. Downlight as an anti-air. Wilson starting to get the hits in. And he spot dodges the down sig, avoids it, gets a nice little punish sider, sends him on arm. Neutral sig catches it before he gets to landing, and that, much to my surprise, was enough force to knock him off the top. And that was a remarkable comeback from Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely huge. You know, last time he did kind of get sent into the orange before taking that first stock. So here you can see him closing that gap a bit more in game 2.
Wilson sort of reversed the roles with Stimpy here in terms of being able to control the center of the stage, catching a lot of Stimpy's landings. Let's see if he can continue that trend. Oh, no, the side stick. We were talking about that earlier. Another side stick in a row. That's 2, and that's it. The stock from Stimpy absolutely deleted. Stimpy dips down just a bit to punish Wilson off stage.
Oh, what?
What?
Stimpy had a double of his own. He's like, yo, 2 side signatures, I got 2 uppercuts right back at you.
I cannot keep up with the ridiculousness of how early these stocks are being taken. And now Stimpy, he's just doing these ladder combos, kind of looking like Falco for a second there with the recoveries and down airs, just pillaring him up and down. And now Stimpy trying to get in with a sidelight. Ooh. Okay, so Wilson is fighting back. Sidelight nair after the downlight. Brings the damage to even. Another nair. Can he get the down air? He does. Ooh. Wilson is bringing his own highlight reel into it as he's just getting down airs after down air. Can he bring Stimpy into deep red? He needs to be able to get those neutral sig or side sig finishers. That's where he's found the most strength on the axe so far, and that's the damage he needs.
Yeah, he forced Stimpy off the hammer. Stimpy wasn't able to get those slower attacks in anywhere edgewise. So now Stimpy's over on the orb a little bit quicker, you know, a little bit more freeform. But still, Wilson has this damage lead.
Oh, he went for the weapon throw pickup, but he did go for the signature afterwards, and the sidelight slider from Stimpy puts him into an edge guard scenario. He doesn't get the nair. I thought Wilson was going to neutral sig there for sure, but it looks like he wants to get a hit. Ah, there it is! Okay, so Wilson.
Yeah, bringing that back, answering immediately. That's going to be 1-1 in the set. Game 2, and those were very efficient knockouts. He actually did 40 less damage than Stimpy did. Wilson just off the back of this, that double side signature, absolutely crucial.
I mean, Stimpy was nearly fresh stock in that situation with both of those side sticks caught him, and that was the falling properties of the side stick that we alluded to before the set began, which is why we put Demon Island so much into Wilson's favor. Right? And now we have a very bizarre shakeup here. We've got 2 legend swaps from both players. Wow. We've got Stimpy going over to Xavier Woods, the epic crossover for Bodvar, and Wilson on to Bryn. This I expect from Wilson. You know what? I believe this is Wilson saying, I am killing it with the axe. The Katars aren't doing me so great. I might as well go over to a legend where I feel like when I hit a signature, it has much earlier knockout potential.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fair, and I guess possibly also looking to get a little bit more off of his anti-airs. Because Stimpy, it's been a lot of, hey, when Wilson can juggle him, he gets juggled for a while. And now that he can actually turn it into a lot more damage with downlight combos, the spear is a pretty good option.
Not to mention that Nair is so powerful as well for catching landings.
Oh, yeah.
And we're seeing the Neutralite kind of be used as like a... I was talking earlier about Greatsword with the Sidelight. Neutralite has the same properties on Spear where it just reaches over the stage without putting your hurt box at risk. And Wilson was using that to great effect, forcing Stimpy to get the exclamation points to show up. And in case you're wondering, if you're on the side of a stage too long, your legend will get tired and they will slip and fall down to their demise. And that downsig hits, forces Stimpy off of his weapon, and now looks like Wilson's going to have a very strong lead if he's able to get this knockout here.
Ooh, hunting around. Neutralite too far on the right-hand side to score the knockout. So Stimpy's going to survive at least a little bit longer. Whoa, what? Covering multiple dodge options, that recovery out of the sidelight. He didn't even go for, like, you know, the extra 3-piece kind of follow-up setup. He was just like, no, I know you're going to be dodging out immediately. I'm going to cover as many of them as I possibly can. And even the back end had enough force to knock out with how much damage Wilson had built up.
Ooh, and Wilson continues to stack on the damage. That was one of those rare cases where if you hit the sidelight too close, the Nair doesn't follow up. In fact, you have to do the sider afterwards. Wilson just barely missing out on that, but he's still winning out in neutral. Ooh, spot dodge read by the recovery, but not enough. Demon Island ceiling a little too tall, and Wilson with the anti-air is keeping Stimpy above him. And this is just like you said, when Wilson gets into a position where Stimpy is the one that's being forced to land, that's where the bulk of Wilson's damage comes from. And Wilson loses that stock there, but gets a significant amount of damage before doing so.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a phenomenal job now taking the momentum of the set and, again, now juggling Stimpy. Look at this, Stimpy having such a hard time landing. Man, that signature would have spelled disaster.
And Wilson's in this confidence mode right now. I feel like, oh, he went for the double down. Like, yeah, he's going for a lot of really hard reads that normally I would say are very greedy, except for the fact that it feels like Stimpy is so afraid of them. Oh, no, is that the stock? Is it pogo time? Oh, he doesn't go for the pogo. Goes for the grab pound instead. This might be the reversal. He gets the grab pound, but Wilson touched. He makes it back to the stage. Another delay grab pound. Can Wilson make it back? He dodges straight up, and he nairs, expecting the attack by Stimpy. But Stimpy doesn't take the bait, and the nair lasts so long that he can't drift to the stage, and Wilson falls, losing that stock. An incredible comeback from Stimpy. What a well-played edge guard, and now Silent Nair almost is having too much knockback to even connect, and Wilson has to struggle to bring this game back to even.
Yeah, I mean, that was an absolutely ridiculous comeback from Stimpy. You can't let that hang out in your head for too long, or else it's just going to cause your last stock to unravel. So,
like it's happening right now.
Oh my gosh. All right, Wilson, he got the stock now, and it's still now final stock situation, but Wilson has to build quite a bit of damage to tie it up.
Light hits, side air from Stimpy gets him out of that weapon, and now Wilson fighting back on arm, picks up a fresh axe, tosses it straight down, picks it up again, the dodge is gone, Wilson goes for the anti-air, but he can't get the down light or the side light. Stimpy playing very well and is actually landing successfully, gets the recovery just out of neutral, and he's looking for the gravity cancel down light. Oh, but Wilson knew his dodge was gone. That's 3 easy hits from the axe. Can he get even more? Nice job, not falling with the down air, but instead landing, getting the neutral light, and then starving Stimpy of the weapon. This is an incredibly close game despite that second stock.
Oh, pancakes! Order up.
So, I want to, before we get too far, it's going to show up on the replay. I want to highlight that moment where Wilson nared, right? Because it looked crazy, but the reason why Wilson nared there was essentially a 50-50. He was like, okay, Stimpy is either going to hit me, this nair is going to connect, and I'm going to get the chase dodge, or I'm going to dodge in, and then he's going to down air me, right? So at this moment, Wilson's like, I have to get the hit, but Stimpy doesn't go for it. And he's like, what the heck, man? I need you to go after me so that I can get my chase dodge. He falls down. That's how great Stimpy was at reacting to that situation.
Yeah, I mean, it really was either take the ground pound to the head or contest it with the neutral air. And you had that inner rock, paper, scissors going on, and Stimpy just making the right call. Absolutely great.
Yeah, it's very rare where the decision to knock out your opponent is to not hit them. But that is one of those scenarios where it is the case. Because, yeah, in Brawlhalla, very unique situations like that happen all the time, where you could have all of your resources gone, but if you successfully hit your opponent, you're rewarded with an empowered dodge, a chase dodge, that can help you get back to the stage when normally you couldn't. And that is a little bit of what Wilson was thinking of there with that neutral air. Just didn't pan out, and he was stuck in the move too long to drift to the stage. Now, we're in a situation where it's match point for Wilson, and it looks like Stimpy is considering pretty hard if he wants to stay on Xavier Woods or not, because that game was essentially one off of that rock, paper, scissors moment. I mean, he played a great game afterwards, but it was really close.
And now we've got Small Brawlhaven, Apocalypse, and Demon Island. Are we going right back to Demon Island, or is this going to be a shakeup with maybe a Small Brawlhaven?
Small Brawlhaven would be interesting. I think that would favor Stimpy a lot more.
Oh.
But we're going to a stage that neither of us talked about, and that's Apocalypse, a little bit of the in-between. As we still have small walls, not quite as small, and the platforms might remedy the problem that Stimpy has been having with landing onto center stage.
Very true. That could definitely help Stimpy out. Now, first weapon. Stimpy gets it, but Wilson gets first blood.
Let's see how this plays out. Wilson falling with a down air, trying to get another down air, but Stimpy with the hammer. Ooh, silent nair that has the bread and butter of the axe. You know, even if you don't hit anything after it, you're just happy that you got that damage. As we see him already going to the orange, the landing, despite the platform being there, making no difference, as Wilson was just like, I'm going to burn you anyways. Neutralite hits, keeping Stimpy off the weapon, goes for the side stick for the early finisher, but the down air hits, and now Wilson back onto the Ragnar. We're going to be seeing those edge guards with the down sigs, with the side sigs, the recovery hits. One more of those, and Stimpy's going to be gone off the top.
Stimpy, oh, that time. See, that's the conditioning that you get. You do the Spitfire downwards, you make them worried about that, so they're going to recover high. And Wilson, he has a perfect anti-air option with that neutral signature that actually spikes downwards.
Yeah, and what's so scary about the downswing is because it hits on the ground, even if it bounces you off the stage, it still has amazing knockup potential, even without being a spike. And oh man, Wilson's just cutting him up with all these guitar neutral lights, looking for the side light to get some sort of string opener. There's one side light, dashes back. Can he get the neutral stick onto Stimpy? No, but the Nair does connect, and Stimpy looking a little lost at the Xavier Woods here again. But before that side stick hits, whip for another spike, doesn't connect it, but he's still doing strong.
Oh, speaking of strong, hammer
Touches.
ground pound. Uh-oh.
Oh no, you hate to see it. Stimpy goes for the edge guard, misses it, and just loses the stock completely, and now it's 3 stocks to 1.
Man, to go from, all right, Stimpy now taking that stock, but still, that is a full stock lead for Wilson. To see how the first several games went to where we are now, this is a major turnaround from Wilson.
Yes, a major turnaround indeed, and it's one of those things where I'm wondering, because the Xavier Woods switch off, oh no, it was off of the back of a loss. It was just surprising to me that Wilson's switched just as well to the Bryn. Now back onto the Ragnar where he's gotten the bulk of his wins, is looking to bring it to a game number 5, as he is just continuing to win in neutral, putting damage on the Stimpy, still a stock ahead. Stimpy's kicking him out of the way. Those sidelights aren't too much damage as the down air and the downlight hits and puts him deep into orange.
Ooh, and continuing to press this lead. There's that side signature, but Stimpy getting the kind of leapfrog underneath.
Yeah, he got a great punish, but it didn't lead to anything. And now Wilson got that neutral stick afterwards. And Stimpy's been good at that. He's been getting those double recoveries multiple times.
Oh my gosh, just enough off the Qatar side signature to have Wilson tie up the set. We're 2-2. We're going to a game 5.
Game 5 indeed. What a close match for a winners round 1 match, but that's just how it is in the World Championship. STTP, Wilson, and Stimpy are fighting for their winners bracket lives. The winner of this going up against Koslings, who had just dominated Double Dime. 3-0 is a game 5 between these two players. What are the legend picks going to be? They've already shown that they have a very diverse roster, and we talked about it earlier, right? Wilson plays so many different legends that he's just going to wait to see what Stimpy is going to want to select going into this game 5. The Xavier Woods wasn't looking quite as strong. What is it going to be?
Yeah, I do wonder, and I think there's also, maybe a bit of the fact that the Apocalypse Mac pick didn't really pan out for Stimpy the way that he was hoping, because oftentimes trying to land on that platform, Wilson was happy to sit on the ground and use his neutral signatures to threaten it. He's like, all right, I get to anti-air while I have this coverage above me. That sounds perfect.
Yeah, it was interesting how that ended up working out, but yeah, the Ragnar neutral stick just ended up reaching too far, and a lot of the time, Stimpy didn't actually land on the platform, but fast fell through it and still got hit by the move. So I agree with you. I think Apocalypse didn't pan out in quite the same way, although Stimpy did adapt very well to the side sigs that he was using on the edge of the edge guards. He got those side air turnarounds on the hammer, but he wasn't able to convert it into an edge guard, and it just continued to go into STTP Wilson's favor.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see this first weapon drop gambit, right? Because they always drop dead center of the stage. Wilson having the momentum from the past couple games in his favor, what kind of mind games is he going to bring to that? Because it's always a bit of a trade-off. Are you trying to grab the weapon and then weapon starve your opponent, or are you going for the early unarmed damage to get the early damage lead?
I mean, I'm not even thinking that far. I'm just thinking about what legend that Wilson's going to pick for game number 5, because I mean, he can bring out anything. I've seen Wilson bring out Caspian in a game 5 situation, and there's a whole number of things that could be coming out from how he's feeling he needs to play this matchup, and that's what's so exciting for me, as well as the stage pick. I wonder if we're going to get a small Brawlhaven for game 5, if we're going to go back to Demon Island, or if it's going to be something completely different as we wait for these players to lock in their last legend picks. Let's take a look a little bit about how
I love these game stats.
Yes.
I just like seeing all the data in like the graph form, where you get to see the stocks. All right, how long did it actually take to build up the damage? How long did they string that one along?
Right, and the damage graph in particular is such an amazing depiction of momentum. You could just see going into that game how long it took for the player in red to be able to start doing something as well as the player in blue. So it's just really fun being able to see those damage charts and how close it ended up getting towards the end. we're getting our legend lock-ins, and it looks like Ragnar is going to be the pick for Wilson. And Brawlhalla is the pocket pick coming out for Stimpy. Very excited about this Axe versus Axe. A very explosive matchup going to come out for game number 5 of this best of 5. Winner of this gets to move on in the winner's bracket in the World Championship to fight against Koslix, so to see if they could continue their way through this tournament. Here we go. Game 5.
All right, so Stimpy over on the Jolly, this is one that I was kind of expecting in the back pocket because we've seen him play this before, and it gives, a little bit more consistency, where, the hammer, some matchups, it might be a little bit too slow, especially with Wilson now playing these guitars with all their faster startup. So being able to have, the sword and then the axe where you've really just got to line up that side air, you can maybe anti-air Wilson a little bit more. But it is a risky pick because Brawlhalla doesn't have that much defense. She takes a lot more damage than other legends.
Yeah, she takes a considerable amount more damage with that low defense stance. You're always going in for that glass cannon strategy when you're on Brawlhalla. And when you dodge down into 2 neutralites, that's not helping with that low defense stat. As now he's getting to a position where I feel like Wilson can just take him down with a neutral sig or a down sig here. Which one's going to be? Stimpy has to guess, right? It's like,
that's the mix-up.
No. And then Wilson's like, neither. He sidelines forward, completely whiffs. But you know what? That's the pressure that he is applying when he is just walking back and forth, being like, hey, I know wall stuff's going to happen eventually, and I'm going to cut right through with that guitar recovery. Can he get another one? He tries. Stimpy dodges out of the way. That neutral sig goes a little bit too high. And Wilson get the edge guard here. The Sair misses, but no punish from Stimpy. But the neutral sig, is that going to be enough for the edge guard? No, the ground pound hits the stage, and Wilson makes it back, picking up an axe.
Oh my gosh, overshooting the haymaker. Stimpy doesn't even get the chance to grab the weapon, even with that miss, and Wilson just cleans it up with the guitar recovery.
Nicely done from Wilson, but a good amount of damage onto him. And if another axe neutral sig, or any signature from Brawlhalla for that matter, hits, I believe that's going to be Wilson's stock. He's going to be able to even it up. Down sig baits Wilson in, gets a pivot neutralite to send him off the side of the stage, but he still needs that finishing blow, and the recovery is not enough. One more will do it, and that is certainly the stock ending. Stimpy evening it up 2-2 here in Game 5.
Yeah, that's the thing, because, she doesn't have that much defense, but a lot of those stat points found their way into the force, into the dexterity, so she has these heavy-hitting strikes that she can do relatively quickly.
Down to hits. Recovery coming in from Wilson. Getting more damage onto Stimpy. He's been playing a very delicate game where he's just getting hit and he's weaving out. Stimpy in these positions.
Oh my
recover.
gosh.
He's low on jumps. Oh, the grapple comes through. He has to dodge through. But he did use that recovery after jumping several times, and Wilson got the neutral sig before he touched the stage. That's why we're seeing those exclamation points come up. Wilson doing so great at keeping Stimpy on the left side of the stage. That corner guarding is so great. And now Wilson barely touched. He's continuing to take the lead.
Look at this. He's just he's walking Stimpy towards the corner. Again, again, that neutral light into read the dodge down, extra neutral light.
Stimpy is just showing that he wants to get to the stage, the ground too hard, and that recovery hitting one more of those will take him off the top, and Wilson's looking for it. He goes to the neutral light recovery. That's it. One stock left for Stimpy. Can he bring it back?
I mean, that's going to be incredibly difficult because Wilson has shown he controls the ground. As long as he gets to sit down there, that is the dragon's lair. You're not taking anything.
Okay, Stimpy. He has gotten some damage onto Wilson. Wilson in orange. Gets hit by one down light, but a side light in air. That's great. Side air was really looking for a lot of the damage there. Well, like that. Suddenly this game's close. Side air hits the weapons out of his hands. Weapon throw gets the jump, and Wilson doesn't dodge. Stimpy. Breath of Life. It is now 1 stock to 1. This is as close as it can possibly get in any best of 5. Wilson hitting with that neutral light, trying to get some extra damage in, but Stimpy with the nair, the falling neutral light gets the side light. Another neutral light. Stimpy just running with it, side light nair. No side air afterwards. Is Stimpy going to steal the game from Wilson? Wilson gets 2 recoveries of his own. Down light.
Oh my gosh.
They're just hitting each other left and right, but they don't have that much defense. What's it going to be? Neutral light doesn't get the dodge down. Stimpy adapting accordingly. Doesn't get punished with a neutral sig. Side light nair doesn't get the cider, but Stimpy's so close to taking the game. The down sig hits it. Wilson goes flying. Does he have a way to make it back? He does. He avoids the down light, but the side air hits it. That's it. Stimpy with the 2-stock comeback takes game number 5 and stays in the winner's bracket. STTP Wilson falls after what was looking like it was going to be his game the entire last game. Stimpy manages to make it work.
Yeah, it was on this right here, getting that toss high, reading the high recovery. That caught me off guard. I'd certainly caught Wilson off guard. He was expecting the low throw because that's usually the popular edge guard option. But Stimpy changing it up to take that stock, tie it up, and then push all the way through. That last stock, they just had unanswered strings against each other, back and forth. But hey man, Stimpy taking it out, absolutely phenomenal. Wilson not out of the tournament.